Alright everyone, this is it, the home stretch of Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations, the final leg of the final court case. However long it may take, we're gonna find out. Let's get started. Here we go. Good morning. Oh, are you by yourself? Morning, Pearls. Mr. Nick, please tell me, what's going to happen to Mystic Maya? I'm sorry. We don't know yet. The investigation is still going on, so I wasn't allowed into the inner temple. Oh, I see. So is Sister Iris still trying to remove those trick locks in the training hall? No. She's the defendant in this case, so she can't be at the inner temple. She's required to be here in court. Then how come she's not here in the defendant's lobby? I have to admit, it's kind of strange. If you're looking for Iris, she's in the prosecutor's lobby. Huh? Edgeworth? What's Iris doing over there? She's going over today's testimony with the prosecutor as we speak. Today's testimony? You heard me. Iris is going to be testifying as a witness for the prosecution. Wait, what? The prosecutor is squeezing her for a confession, or so I heard. Francisca von Karma, what are you up to? I know what you're thinking, but Francisca isn't going to be the prosecutor today. What? Then who is? Who else would it be but Godot? Godot? Francisca is engaged in some important work in the Sacred Cavern. The Sacred Cavern? You don't mean that she's... Exactly. She has been out there all night trying to remove those trick locks. With the head nun's assistance, naturally. We estimate that the last of the locks should be taken care of in about 3 hours. I hope everything continues to go smoothly as we receive some good news soon. Alright. Yeah, thanks, Edgeworth. Prosecutor Godot intends to nail this case shut today. Be prepared to fight like there's no tomorrow. Whew, you don't have to tell me that. Touché. I can already see it in your eyes. You're not the same fever-ridden frantic maniac you were yesterday. It's strange. On the way here, I decided that today would be the end of all this. Almost immediately after I made that decision, I felt myself getting stronger. Interesting. Maybe you passed your cold onto someone else, literally. Alright. And with that, I leave the rest in your capable hands, partner. Thanks. Whew. Let's see how this goes. I still don't have answers for most of the riddles plaguing this case. The circumstances around the murder of Miss Elise Donim... No, I mean Miss Misty Fey. The impossible flight Larry claims to have seen, which, as I surmise, I think he's seeing things upside down. I think she fell off the bridge, not onto the bridge. I think she was on the bridge when it lit on fire and she jumped off. That's what I think. And what that woman is really after. I will solve them all and bring this whole tragedy to an end. Alright. Here we go. Robble, robble, robble. Godot is back.
Court is now in session for the trial of Iris of Hakamura Temple. Excuse me, Hazakura Temple.
Your Honor? What are you...
Oh, me? Well, my little brother came to visit me in my chambers earlier this morning. All of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, he developed a scorching fever and fainted. Therefore, I'll be standing in for him.
So that other judge was his little brother. We didn't know that, but that was Santa's little brother. I see, Your Honor. So they're brothers. That explains a lot. Yeah, why they looked almost the same.
My poor brother, he looked a bit pale. Not to mention that sad he couldn't be here.
It is impossible to predict what the future has in store for any of us. This is precisely why people feel the need to judge the past. And we of the court have been charged with the solemn duty of passing such judgment.
Well said, Mr. Godot. I understand exactly what you said, at least up until the end anyway. Now then, Mr. Godot, please proceed with your opening statement.
Humans are fragile, fickle beings. Our hearts change with the shifting of the tides. There is only one thing that remains a constant in this crazy world. Ah, delicious coffee and the bitter darkness that lies at the bottom of this mug. That's what wait a minute, I made a joke about coffee and then he referenced the coffee anyway. Boy, did I learn this character to a T, huh? I knew exactly what he would say and then he said it.
So then you mean, forget it. What do you mean?
During yesterday's trial, the accused refused to admit their role in the crime. But today, she has had a change of heart. Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple has a confession to make.
Confession? The defendant?
Iris, why didn't she discuss this with me first?
Very well. This court will now hear the defendant's confession.
DJ Bruno just cheered. He said, what would Santa's little brother's name be? Oh, Santa's little brother. Little Nicky. He's old Saint Nick, so he'd be Little Nicky. Uh-oh. No coincidence that there's a movie named that. Okay. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, always ask her for her name and profession. That's one of my rules. My name is Iris. I am but a simple nun undergoing training at Hazakura Temple.
Witness, is this something that you want to confess to?
Yes, but first I want to apologize to Mr. Wright. I can't continue lying to everyone anymore.
It's alright. What is it?
Mr. Wright, I have to admit that I did play a part in this terrible incident.
Are you actually confessing? Are you saying that you were the one who murdered Miss Elise Donim?
No, I'm not, Your Honor. But I dealt with the cover-up after the murder took place. After her spirit left, I took the lifeless shell of Mystic Elise and carried it to the Hazakura Temple courtyard where I desecrated it.
What?
Robble, robble.
Order in the court. Order. Witness. Are you saying that you are an accomplice to the murder?
Yes, that's correct.
What?
3 minutes in court and I'm already covered in a cold sweat. Ha! Everyone on the planet is an accomplice to something. It just so happens to be that in this case, it's to murder. Ah, delicious. Isn't that right, Mr. Trey? Grr, I can know. So this is the confession they were conferring about. It pains me to say this, but it looks like Iris' testimony was all a lie. Iris' testimony crumpled up and shoved into a pocket. Now then, little lady, if you don't mind, I've got a question for you. Whose crime were you trying to cover up by your actions? Iris was covering for someone? Ugh, now I'm definitely up a creek without a paddle, or a life jacket. I've been at Hazakura Temple ever since I was a little girl. Hazakura Temple is run by one of the branch families of the Karain tradition. One of our missions is to protect the main family.
I'm sorry, but main family?
Yes, and that's why I would dirty myself if need be to protect her. The daughter of the master of the Karain channeling technique, Mystic Maya Fey.
Huh?
Wake up and smell the coffee, Trey. She's naming Maya?
Order in this court. So not only did you witness the murder, you knew the name of the murderer.
I'm terribly sorry, but it's true. I saw her commit the crime with my very own eyes. And then I cleaned up the area to try to protect her. That's ridiculous. Maya could never...
The defense will refrain from commenting until the appropriate time. Now, witness, let's hear your testimony. What exactly happened on the night of the crime?
Yes, Your Honor. I thought I was prepared for the unexpected. But I never imagined the case would wind up going in this direction. Yeah. That was a good stretch. Damn. That was a good one. Larry the water guy tipped me $1 and says, my dad works at Amazon and gives me a bunch of gift cards If you add more products like drinking water to your wish list, I can help you crunch more plastic bottles and water bills. Okay, thank you for the tip. Poopster cheered. And Poopster says, Phil, I love the work you put into the voice acting. Thank you, Poopster. Alright. Let's continue here. Real murderer. I went to the inner temple that night and I saw it all happen in the garden. I saw Mystic Elise strike Mystic Maya with her staff. While Mystic Maya was still stumbling, Mystic Elise moved in to deliver a fatal strike. Mystic Maya tried desperately to defend herself and stole the weapon. It was only in self-defense. You can't blame her for it.
So it was in self-defense?
Yes, Mystic Elise was the one who attacked first. That's why I tried my best to protect Mystic Maya.
You moved the victim's body to the temple so that Maya wouldn't be suspected. Isn't that right? Not bad. You've got the instincts of a true criminal. Something's not quite right. I'm sure it was established yesterday that Iris never went to the inner temple that night. And that the person who did go was that woman, her sister, right? You know, brought back from the dead. Alright, so what I could think of here is... So, Mystic Elise was possessed by Dahlia and went after Mystic Maya. Right? Mystic Maya was attacked by Dahlia, who was possessing Mystic Elise. She tried to act in self-defense and get her away. Somehow, the Dahlia possessed Mystic Elise ended up on the bridge. Someone lit the bridge on fire. She jumped off the bridge and ended up breaking all the bones in her body. Then someone took the snowmobile, drove down, picked up the body, brought it all the way back up to the temple, and then impaled the body with the sword, the Shin Shishito, to make it look like the Shin Shishito had actually killed her. We already know this was Iris who did this to try to cover up the whole situation. But from what Iris is now telling us, right? From what Iris is telling us, it looks like Maya stabbed her, so Maya somehow got control of the hidden blade in the staff and stabbed her in self-defense. I don't know about that, because they actually, if you remember, they said that the bones in her body had been broken before she was stabbed, right? I gotta, hold on. I want to check the evidence again. Oh, no, I'm wrong. So according to this, loss of blood from the stab in the back, was stabbed first, died from the stab, then fell 10, oh, only 10, oh, wow. Fell only 10 feet. Only 10 feet after death. Where could the 10 feet have come into play? Because if Butts saw her fall off the bridge, that's definitely more than a 10-foot fall, right? Maybe it isn't? They made it seem like it's a huge fall. Man, there's definitely another part of this we don't know yet. What is it? What is this 10-foot fall that happened? Right? Alright, we don't know yet. We gotta press. We gotta do more investigation. This is not clear at this point at all. So, only we know that this staff has a hidden sword inside of it. That we're the only two that apparently know. Okay. Gotta remember that. That's probably gonna be important. DJ Bruno Charity said the wall building next to the statue looks like 10 feet high. Right, I would say you're right. The building where supposedly Elise was sleeping or whatever, that looks like a 10-foot drop. But if she got stabbed, she bled out somewhere. We don't know where because we never found a blood stain, right? So if she bled out somewhere, okay, where did she bleed out that there's no blood anywhere? Or did someone clean it up? Then did someone bring the body somewhere, throw it 10 feet down? Like, did someone bring the body all the way into the hall, throw it down to the statue, then Iris ran up and impaled the body with the statue? This is so convoluted at this point. It's incredibly convoluted.
Alright, I have no clue. I seriously don't have a single clue what's going on. Okay? Alright. Iris even admitted it. Alright, here we go.
Now then, Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination.
Let's give it a shot. Here we go. So she went to the inner temple and saw it all happen in the garden. Sister Iris, your testimony has changed quite a bit since yesterday. You stated yesterday that on the night of the murder, you didn't even go to the inner temple.
Objection!
Did she now? Too bad for you. What she said yesterday doesn't mean much today. By the way, where were you when she claimed that she didn't go? It was in the inner temple's training hall. A private conversation between the two of you does not constitute testimony. That would be properly described as hearsay.
What do you have to say, witness?
I just couldn't tell him the truth at that time. Mystic Maya, she's your girlfriend, isn't she? Oh? I didn't want to be the one to break it to you that I saw her commit murder.
There. We all understand how difficult this is for you. Now then, let's continue with the testimony. What did you witness in the temple garden?
Well, Your Honor, I saw Mystic Elise strike Maya with her staff. You're saying that the victim attacked Maya, I mean, Miss Faye? Yes, it was a truly frightening scene. Mystic Maya was struck hard on the head and looked like she was going to collapse. What were you doing at the time? Why didn't you stop them from fighting? I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Wright. I was frightened. I couldn't move. I couldn't even speak. I was in such shock.
That's perfectly understandable, my dear.
This doesn't sound right. I don't believe this testimony for a minute.
What happened after that?
So, while she was still stumbling, Mystic Elise moved in to deliver a fatal strike. She moved in to deliver a fatal strike? Yes, I'm sure of it. She threw down her staff and reached into her robe for a weapon. Wait a minute. What was this weapon? It was some kind of dagger. A dagger, huh? And Elise Donim tried to stab her with this weapon? To kill Miss Faye? Yes, exactly. Huh. You look like I did after I mistakenly took a swig of Worcestershire sauce. Ugh. Do you have a problem with the testimony we're hearing from your client, lawyer boy? Do I have a problem with Iris's testimony? Let's see. I would say yes, but I don't know if we have the evidence yet. Yeah, I don't know if we have the evidence yet. I'm gonna try anyway. I say, Your Honor, I have a small problem with the witness's testimony.
You do? But this witness is your own client.
Yes, well, nevertheless, that's fine. Witness, let's add your last statement to the testimony. Yes, sir.
Hey, just a moment. It's my job to say that.
Listen, Gramps, I won't say it again. Final judgment will be rendered by me.
No.
Okay, now, let's continue. Alright, so, fatal strike we've got. What? Godot tipped me $1 says you need to make a sipping coffee sound effect after he takes a swig of Joe. What's a sipping coffee sound effect? A slurp? How can I make a slurp without a mug to slurp out of? Like, I can't slurp out of a bottle of water. It doesn't work. You need a mug to, like, suck out of. So I don't know. I don't think I can do it. Thank you for the tip. I received a $1 tip from a boomer zombie. Oh, this is funny. He said, did you know Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch are dating? Because at the Stomping Grounds pay-per-view, they make sure to let us know every 30 minutes. Yeah, they've been mentioning it like every single show for the past month as well, which is hilarious. I'm sure it's leading up to something that they're going to do on TV. I didn't see Stomping Grounds, so please do not spoil Stomping Grounds for anyone tonight. Please, no spoilers in the stream chat. That is not allowed. It's against the rules, okay? Alright, let's continue. So she threw her staff away and pulled a dagger from the inside of her robe. Here we go. She threw her staff away. Oh, hold on. Ring Dude just did a 500-bit cheer. Thank you, Ring Dude. Let's get Ring Dude up on the leaderboard as the top cheerer of the night. Thank you very much, Ring Dude. Thanks very much, man. Alright. Good. Now let's continue. So, she threw her staff away. Mystic Elise was trying to kill Mystic Maya. I think that's why she wanted a more lethal weapon.
It's true. It's not easy to inflict a deadly blow with a staff.
Sister Iris, let me make sure I've got this straight. The victim herself chose to throw away her staff? Yes, that's what I saw.
Is there anything odd about that, Mr. Wright?
Yeah, it's odd, alright.
Mystic Elise attacked Mystic Maya with the dagger. I'm sure of this.
So here's why. She threw her staff away and pulled a dagger from inside her robe. Why would she have thrown the staff away when she knew inside the staff was a knife? Why would she throw a staff with a knife inside of it, a way to pull out a second knife when she had a knife inside of it to begin with? That's what I think we're supposed to protest here. But let's keep going and press these other ones too. So, Mystic Maya tried desperately to defend herself and stole the weapon. And then...
Mystic Maya, she turned things around, and then she used the weapon she had taken and lunged forward for a strike.
Witness, are you absolutely certain?
Yes, but believe me, she had no choice. If Mystic Maya hadn't done something...
Maya Faye's name would have been written on this autopsy report instead.
Yes, I see.
This is bad. I still can't put the pieces together. Unless I find a contradiction in her testimony, Maya's going to get blamed for this. Okay. Now, Shrubbity Bubbly, to me $2.05, wants me to stop the stream completely to go downstairs, get a mug, and make the slurping sound. You do realize that this is the end of the game, and I haven't made the slurping sound once during the entirety of the playthrough, right? So, I appreciate the tip. I appreciate the suggestion. The answer is no, I'm not going downstairs to do that. Okay. Cam Jersey to Judy said, we need Judge Judy on this. Okay, then. Let's continue. Thank you for the cheer.
I only have this to say.
It was only in self-defense. You can't blame her for it. So, you're saying Maya Faye was the one who stabbed Miss Elise Donin? Sister Iris, is that really what you saw?
Yes.
Objection! Just try. And if your mug is filled with black and bitter suspicions, the only way to get rid of them is to drink them down quick. Like this! I know that's supposed to be a metaphor, but I don't get it. There's only one thing you need to get, right? It's called evidence. Now hurry up before my next cup gets cold. What does that mean? Is Godot waiting for me to point out the contradictions? I'd like to avoid the whole spirit channeling thing if I can. Not only would it be inadmissible evidence, I think it might actually hurt our standing with the judge. First, I need to pick her testimony apart and expose the unnatural sounding parts. Okay. I don't know why Iris would tell a story like this, but there are two things I noticed that just don't add up. Okay. So, here we go. This right here, this makes no sense. There's no reason she would have pulled a dagger from her robe, but we know there's a sword inside of the dagger itself. Or inside of the staff itself. Stray Cash Homie has resubbed at tier 2, the higher tier, for 20 months. It's been a fun 20 months of content. Great content. Dark Side Phil, thank you, Stray Cash Homie, for the 20 months of support. And of course, the tier 2 sub that helps me out even more. Alright, I'm going to try this. I think we got it. Sister Iris, there's something strange about your version of events.
Huh?
Miss Donim's throwing her staff away makes no sense at all to me.
But all you can do with the staff is hit someone.
Naturally, you wouldn't know this, Sister Iris, but the victim's staff had a special feature about it. As you can see, it's a sword.
Ah,
If Elise Donim really had wanted to kill Maya Fey, she wouldn't have needed to use a separate dagger. Not when she already had a beautiful blade in her hands already. Well, Sister Iris, what do you have to say? That was an impressive bit of investigating, Trite. I never would have thought that there was a sword hidden in that stack. But even so, how should I put this? A long sword is unwieldy and thus quite ineffective in close quarters combat. Maybe that's why she chose the dagger over her blade. Well... Anyway, the type of weapon she chose to use isn't what's important. The important thing is that she tried to kill Maya Fey. As long as there's nothing strange about that, there's no problem with her testimony. But there is something strange about this whole testimony.
Well, Mr. Wright, the prosecution has a point.
Very well, Your Honor. The defense will not present evidence to back its argument. Okay, let me see. Okay.
Mr. Wright?
I have here another piece of evidence that shows that this testimony can't be trusted. Because Miss Linas Donim would never attempt to take the life of Maya Fey. That's right. There you go. Elise Donim would never have attacked Maya Fey.
How can you be so sure?
Because the victim's real name was not Elise Donim. Her real name was Misty Fey.
Fey?
Ah, no. Not Mystic Misty Fey.
Who is this Misty Fey? Is she related to...
Misty Fey is the master of the Karain channeling technique, and she is also the mother of Maya Fey.
Are you serious?
Is it really true, Mr. Wright? Was Elise Donim actually the great Mystic Misty?
There's no doubt about it. It looks like Iris had no idea.
I can hardly believe it.
The idea that she would try to kill her only daughter, one she hadn't seen in 17 years, perhaps the prosecution can offer some explanation for why she would do such a thing.
Good. Order in the court. Upon first hearing the witness's testimony, it seemed natural enough. However, in light of some facts that have just been presented, one, that the victim supposedly threw away a sword during a fight, and two, that the two people battling to the death were mother and daughter, despite the facts being believable when taken on their own. When taken together, this entire story seems difficult to believe.
Listen, there's nothing in this world that is impossible. Except for one little thing.
Yes, what is this one little impossible thing?
Ha! You still don't get it. Ah, smells good. You think maybe my beans are you think maybe my beans are under roasted, but you have no idea, Gramps.
Could you get to your point?
I heard this witness's confession this morning. Just as I had taken the first sip of my 8th cup of morning coffee.
You're going to ruin your health, my friend.
Anyway, after hearing this woman's confession, I had a detective who loves to investigate sent to the scene of the crime. And he discovered this little beauty.
Is that the dagger the witness testified to seeing?
Obviously, Your Honor. But do you not notice something else?
Now that you mention it, if you look closely, there appears to be blood on it. Rubble, rubble.
Where do you find that? I didn't see that when I investigated the crime scene. Did you investigate the pine tree at the crime scene?
Huh?
The pine tree? This dagger was stuck in the backside of the pine tree. When the last blow was struck, ending the violent battle between the two women, this little baby was thrown in the direction of the back of the pine tree.
Which means the blood of this dagger belongs to the victim, correct?
Ha! Were you even listening, old man? I first heard this confession this morning, just as I had taken the first sip of my 13th cup of coffee. Didn't you say it was your 8th just a few minutes ago? I didn't have enough time to get the blood analyzed on such short notice.
In any case, the court will accept this dagger as evidence. Furthermore, I ordered that a blood test be performed on it immediately.
This is my sweetheart. Make sure you treat her right.
Bailiff, get this piece of evidence to the crime lab for testing immediately.
Orion Rogue says, can I move my overlay to the way of the evidence? Yes. I'll put my overlay right here. It'll be perfect. Let's see, right there. And right there. Nice. Okay, obviously I'm going to move it over here. Alright. No one needs to see his face. Okay. We've seen his face for three straight freaking games. We don't need to see his Santa face anymore. Alright. Alright, guys, let's continue.
Bailiff, get this...
Oh, I already said that. Dagger was added to the court record.
Now then, the testimony we just heard had numerous unbelievable aspects to it. However, after having found the very dagger the witness spoke of, I believe we can consider her testimony to be credible.
Cute girls never lie. Ever.
In any case, witness, if you could please testify again to this court.
About what, Your Honor?
About the incident you saw, the battle between the two women.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, the battle testimony. Here we go.
Mystic Maya stumbled briefly after being hit over the head with the staff. But then she dodged Mystic Elise's next attack and stole her weapon. Suddenly, Mystic Elise was the one on the defensive with her back to the stone lantern. That's when Mystic Maya stabbed Mystic Elise. Mystic Elise managed to fling the knife away, but then she collapsed.
That was a very heartbreaking story.
I don't know if there were any bad feelings between them, but it had been 17 years since Misty's disappearance. Perhaps they simply didn't recognize each other anymore.
Ooh! Excuse me. Holy tamales. That was crazy big burp. I didn't even know it was coming. It came out of nowhere. Kim Jersey, yes, am I happy to be finishing this game? I mean, the answer is yes. I've been playing it for over 2 months. I'm not even kidding. I've been playing this game for over 2 months at this point. Some 35 or something hours of gameplay, some insane amount. So I'm very happy to finally be wrapping it up. Whew. Okay.
That seems reasonable. Now then, Mr. Wright, proceed with your cross-examination. And make it snappy. Don't have all day. Gotta prepare for next Christmas.
Okay, the cross-examination. Here we go. So she stumbled briefly after being hit over the head with the staff. Iris, where were you standing when you witnessed all this?
What do you mean?
Well, if either of them had noticed you, they might not have continued their battle.
I wonder if that's true. The two of them, they were standing near the garden stone lantern. I was watching the whole thing from behind. It was dark where the two of them, were, so I think that's why they didn't see me.
So it was dark in the garden when the murder took place. Tell me, what did Miss Maya Fey do after she was struck?
Alright, so she dodged Mystic Elise's next attack and stole her weapon. What happened to the victim's staff then?
I'm not sure. The area was very dark, so I really couldn't see. I think it got knocked away somewhere as the fight escalated.
That makes sense. That would explain the need for the dagger.
Mystic Elise raised the dagger to strike, but Mystic Maya dodged it at the last second. The dagger struck the lantern and fell to the ground. And then at some point, Mystic Maya picked it up.
Nothing sounds especially strange yet.
What did the victim do when the weapon was stolen from her?
Well, Mystic Elise was the one on the defensive with her back at the stone lantern. You're saying that you're saying that Maya Fey turned the tables on the victim?
Yes. But Mystic Maya wasn't herself at the time. After all, her life was in danger.
I still can't believe it. The idea of Maya cornering someone at knife point is just silly. As they say, a cornered fox is more dangerous than a jackal. I believe the correct description of a cornered fox is scared and petrified. Your animal analogies have grown tiresome. You were the one who started it.
Anyway, so after Maya Fey backed the victim into the store lantern, what happened next?
That's when she stabbed Mr. Galise, okay? Are you absolutely certain that's what you saw?
Yes, I'm almost certain.
Almost?
The garden was dark. I couldn't really tell who was who.
What did she just say? So in other words, it could have been someone else entirely.
Objection!
We know that Maya Fey was at the inner temple that night, and that the woman that was killed was Elise Donia. Isn't it fairly obvious who attacked who? I don't have anything to counter that yet.
Well then, witness, please continue with your testimony.
By the way, I think I have what to counter them with.
The two of them faced each other for a moment. Then Mystic Maya rushed straight into Mystic Elise. Then Mystic Elise doubled over and fell to the ground.
So she was stabbed in the stomach, huh?
Yes.
Boy, guess what? This is completely wrong. It's completely and utterly fucking wrong. It's a bunch of happy horseshit. It's a bunch of stinky pieces of duty stuck to your fucking butt hairs coming out in a big dingleberry chain. Because this is false testimony. And I'll show you why. You ready? Loss of blood from a stab in the back. Something about you, what you just said isn't right. Oh, something about you just isn't right today, Iris. Huh? Until now, I didn't think you were the type to make such a careless mistake. However, the testimony you just gave contains quite a few contradictions.
What do you mean? What's so wrong with my testimony?
According to you, Maya Fey stabbed the victim while she had her back to the stone lantern, correct?
Yes, that's right.
But in that case, the victim would have been stabbed in the stomach, right?
Yes, I think so.
But according to the autopsy report, the cause of death was due to blood loss from a stab wound in her back.
Ah.
This proves that the victim was stabbed from behind, not from the front. Sister Iris, it appears another seed of doubt is sprouted from your testimony. Very nice.
What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright?
Ha! It's simple. People are like books. We all got a front and a back. You get my drift?
Is that all you have to say?
I can also say that darkness loves to play with the human mind. Whoa! Could you please knock it off with the cheesy proverbs and illogical metaphors already? The point is, too much of this testimony just doesn't make sense. Throwing away a useful staff, the people fighting being mother and daughter, and now she falsely claims the victim was stabbed in the stomach.
There certainly are some inconsistencies.
Well, Iris, how about it?
Well, it's just...
If you ask me, you're just being too naive about the whole thing. What do you mean? Ha! Delicious! There are 253 distinct types of bitterness in coffee. But to pick out each one requires total concentration and the use of all the senses. Were you really concentrating on what this witness actually said?
Prosecutor Godot, explain yourself!
The witness was quite unambiguous about her own ambiguities when she said that the garden was dark and she couldn't see clearly. Huh? A human needs one thing to see clearly, and that is light.
Light?
By the way, did you know? Hazakura has a rule that on nights when the acolyte is at the inner temple training, the stone lantern in the garden must be kept lit. Huh. I did wonder what that stone lantern was there for.
Well, if that's true, shouldn't the witness have been able to see the crime even more clearly?
Normally, yes, Your Honor. But, according to the head nun, Sister Bikini, on the night of the crime, it was impossible to light that stone lantern. Impossible? Impossible? It hadn't been used in a long time, and the wick was no good. In other words, it had to have been nearly pitch black in the garden that night. There could have been a faint light coming from the training hall, but that's all.
Most enlightening.
Ha! Yes, that illuminating fact has chased away all the contradictions. If the staff was dropped, it would be difficult to see. It also explains why they didn't recognize each other. We can't see the demons that lurk in the night. That's why humans are weak. Isn't that right, Trey? Ha! No! Rubble. Order! Here, Your Honor, let me present the stone lantern into evidence. Maybe it'll rekindle the flame of truth in your mind. Stone lantern added to the court record. Why is the judge just sitting there with that look on his face? What's wrong, Your Honor? What's that flame too... Oh, was that flame too hot?
This lantern, there's something written on it. Why? Why it's written in blood?
Oh boy. So the judge didn't even know about that yet. Written in blood?
It says Maya upside down.
What the...
Oh, yes. Oh, that's right. After being cornered and then stabbed by Mystic Maya, Mr. Gillies didn't fall down right away. She must have been writing that on the stone lantern behind her, with the blood that was draining out of her body.
It certainly looks that way.
Hang on just a minute. What are you all talking about?
What do you mean, what are we all talking about?
We're talking about the message written in blood. Huh, nonsense. This lantern, it was as clean as a whistle. Huh, could it be? He can't see the bloody writing at all? Now that I think of it, he did say something to me yesterday. My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything. Huh. So that's what he meant by that. It's Drake took the dollar, said I got timed off for no reason. Also, can I be a mod? I've been here since the OG days. No. And you wouldn't have gotten timed off for no reason. You were probably trying to derail the stream or something. In the middle of me doing a narrative that I can't be distracted from. Because if I'm distracted from it in the middle of elaborate voice acting, I could lose my place. I could lose my voice. I could completely lose track of what's going on. And it's an incredibly convoluted trial. So maybe, just maybe, we can all just focus on what's going on in the game for a couple minutes instead of trying to derail the stream. Okay, thank you for the dollar tip. I appreciate that. Let's continue.
In any case, this is obviously an important clue. We know now that the crime scene was dark, and that the victim scrawled this message onto the stone lantern. Well, Mr. Godot, anything further? Mr. Godot?
Okay then, let's move on. Godot is literally shaking, and somehow I don't think it's from caffeine overdose.
I believe it has now been established that Ms. Donim was killed by Maya Fey.
That's just wrong. Now it's time to turn our attention to you.
Yes, sir.
After the victim died, you did something, didn't you? Let's hear it. We're all ears. Okay, here we go. The cover up. Dictatorship Cheater said he's totally guilty. I'm calling the cops now. Call the cops now. Ah! Okay, don't call the cops, please. Don't even joke about calling the cops. Please. We have enough assholes out there doing fucked up things, swatting and shit. We don't need to joke about prank calling the cops, please. It's totally not even cool, okay? All right, let's continue. Ahem. Sister Iris's cover-up.
After Mystic Elise died, I called out to Mystic Maya. I thought it was my duty to protect the future master of Karain tradition, so I removed the body from the inner temple by myself. I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge. Then I used the snowmobile to carry it back to Hazakura Temple and... I used the Shishishito to alter the way the room looked.
Alright. Wow. It's Drake to me $1 saying McDonald's, his local McDonald's are hiring. Which one should he apply to? Because they both sound lit. It's Drake. I appreciate the tips, but if you could please stop derailing the stream. You just did it twice in the past 5 minutes. And it's one thing if you're taught or something that's impertinent or whatever. We don't care about you applying for McDonald's tonight, so please stop. Okay, thank you very much. Alright, let's continue.
So you moved the body.
Yes, I was raised at Hazakura Temple. I owe a great deal of thanks to the Fae clan. But even so, I never imagined that Elise Donim was actually Misty Fae. I've committed a terrible sin.
A terrible trick of fate.
I believe you're looking for Twist of Fate, Your Honor.
I intended to return to the inner temple after taking care of the body. But
You were spotted by the Hen Nun, correct?
yes, and that's why I couldn't go back.
Your story makes sense, I suppose. Mr. Wright, go ahead with your cross-examination.
Alright, yes, Your Honor. Wet crowd cheers said this guy's face looks like a fucking hot lobster back to back to back. Oh my god. I don't know what's happening anymore. I've lost control of everything. I've lost control. I'm out of here, guys. That's enough. I've had enough for tonight. I'm gone. See you guys later. Alright, I'm back. Let's continue. I don't know what's happening here tonight with you guys. Grayside Will cheered, and he's talking about New Face of Creation. He says he loved when you went to clown mode. It's great. It's too bad he can't be here to see it anymore because he got his ass banned for acting like a jackass one too many times. Oh well. Alright. Let's go ahead and let us cross-examine this witness, shall we?
So, after Mystic Elise died, I called out to Mystic Maya.
So you waited until everything was over before making a move?
No, it's not like that.
She saw someone murdered right in front of her eyes. It's not surprising that she was a little timid.
Yes, I suppose that's true. Sometimes when I'm watching lawyers argue back and forth with each other, I feel so helpless that I just sit quietly and wait for them to reach a conclusion.
Isn't it your job as the judge to mediate that argument?
It wasn't until Mystic Maya saw me that it finally dawned on her what she had done.
Okay. Shout out to DevKit, who just did a 700-bit cheer. He said, been laughing my ass off during the chill stream. Can't wait for Super Mario Maker 2. It coming up this Friday. I haven't decided if I want to do that as the main gameplay stream or the night stream for that first release day. But whatever I do, I'm going to flip that on the next day on Saturday. So either way, we're going to get 6 hours of both the Sinking City and Mario Maker 2 Friday and Saturday. Okay. Let's get DevKit up on the leaderboard. Top cheer of the night, 700 bits. Thank you very much, DevKit, for that. Oh, let's see here. DevKit. Yes, I got it right. Okay. Very nice. Thank you, DevKit. Alright, so. She thought it was my duty to protect the future master of the Karain tradition. Talks about that. So then, you knew? You knew the significance of the name Maya Fey.
Yes, of course I did.
That's odd. I mean, Sister Bikini didn't recognize Maya's name, let alone her position.
Anyway, she was a very special person indeed.
So she removed the body, okay. Why did you do that?
Because I didn't want Mystic Maya to be suspected in any way. I thought the best thing would be to remove the body from the crime scene.
You moved her body all by yourself?
Yes, I did. It would have been impossible if it wasn't for the snow.
The snow, huh? Okay. Well, let's see here. Broly the God 91 just sent me $5. So what up, brother Phil? This is off topic. I wanted to let you know I changed my name from Itachi to this. All right, that makes sense. Broly. We'll just call you Broly from now on. Of course, Itachi, I have to remember that you are Broly. Excuse me. Broly, I have to remember that you are Itachi. There you go. All right, let's get you up on the leaderboard. You're the top tipper of the night, bro. Bro. Thank you very much. Broly. And that gets us up to $14 in tips tonight. Thank you guys very much so far for your support. I appreciate that. Okay. So she says she dragged it behind me all the way to Dusky Bridge. It's pretty amazing you can make it all the way across. That's a rickety old bridge.
It looks worse than it is. It's surprisingly sturdy despite its age.
It's like they say, idiots are too stupid to catch even a simple cold. But there's one other thing that bothers me. Why not just throw the body into the Eagle River?
Huh?
It would have been much easier than dragging it all the way to Hazakura Temple.
I thought that it would still cast too much suspicion on Mystic Maya. That's why I tried to take the body as far away as possible.
Ha! Makes perfect sense to me. For the time being. Anyway, what did you do after you crossed the bridge? Alright, use the snowmobile to carry it back to the temple. The snowmobile? I knew that would show up sooner or later.
Yes, I had the key. I used the snowmobile to travel from Hazakura Temple to Dusky Bridge.
This is the part that was in question the other day. Should I ask for more details? Yes, you should. About the tracks. If you really did move her body by snowmobile, then there should be tracks left in the snow, right? Well, yes, naturally you would expect tracks. This picture was presented at yesterday's trial. Are these the tracks from that ride?
Yes, I think they are.
But I can only see one set of tracks here.
I don't see what's so strange about that. Snow was still falling when I left Hazakura Temple.
I see. Snow was still falling, huh?
And when the murder took place, it had already stopped. That's why there were such fresh-looking tracks.
How about it, Mr. Wright? What do you think about the testimony?
Let me save it. I'm gonna say it's important. Yeah. It's very important. When the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. That doesn't make sense if you stack it up against the other evidence. Your Honor, I'd like the statement Iris just made to be added to the testimony.
But does it have something to do with the case?
All will be made clear if you allow her statement to be added to the record. Ha! This should be fun. Ha ha! Let's get this snow business cleared up, shall we?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So. She said she used the Shishishito. She used the Shishishito to alter the way the wound looked. Let's check that. Is that what you were doing when Sister Bikini saw you?
Yes, that's right. She probably thought the worst.
Probably. More like definitely.
I see. So Sister Bikini mistakenly thought you were the one that murdered Miss Donnie.
I am so sorry. Please forgive me. It's my fault that this case has gotten so confusing.
Alright, our last statement. By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. There have been a lot of contradictions in your testimony so far. This time, are you sure it's all true?
Yes, I am.
When the murder happened, the snow had already stopped. According to you, that's why the snowmobile tracks were so clear.
That's right. I'm certain of it.
I think I trapped her this time. I see how you think. Snow, huh?
What is going on here?
If the snow really had stopped by the time of the murder, it meant there's a bigger hole in her story than the movie The Grid Revelations. Huh? The Grid Revelations? Are they making fun of The Matrix Revelations? How they said that there were big plot holes in the movie? Wow. They're actually... Wow, that's an interesting reference. Huh. Well then, Mr. Tread, perhaps you'd like to share your theory with us? Let's see what's up your sleeve, or rather, at the end of your index finger. I don't want to believe it, but I don't think my logic is failing me. Iris is trying to pin the murder on Maya. But why would she want to do that? There's only one reason I can think of. Okay. So let's save, and then we're going to try to figure this part out about the snow, okay? Alright.